Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Monday! How was your weekend? How are you doing? I hope it was a good one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I know too that if you're a Golden State Warriors fan, supporter, you're happy. Yes, got to see your victory yesterday. Thank you so much for joining in, and everybody else, I hope that you had a good time. I hope that you had a wonderful time doing what you love, whether it's reading, whether it's just sitting there quietly, or indeed chatting with friends, or a combination of all of those. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. I am good. I am well. Thank you indeed for joining in Story Time. Excited to be here. And this week we're going to be looking at some amazing books, graphics to be coming soon. We had Eid, we had Ramadan, they've come and passed, but we're still going to just commemorate and celebrate a bit of that as well, and just bring awareness to everybody else as well. Learning about other cultures, or like about different cultures, and so like myself, learning a lot more about Islam and Muslim culture and so much more. So if you have bits that you want to share with us, please let us know. And please, that's why it's important that you keep sending us your recommendations of books, poems, anything that you want us to bring here to Story Time that indeed gives us an insight into much learning of our community. Thank you so much for being here, and I am glad that we're here together. Hena Khan comes back to Story Time with this one, Crescent Moons and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. And this one is illustrated by Mehrdokht Amini, and we're reading it with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them indeed for allowing us to read this wonderful book here on Storytime. Not once, not twice, but many, many times indeed. Crescent Moons and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. Coming right up. And get ready for this one. Get cozy, and I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that we learn from it too. So thank you for being here and welcome. Please, as always, let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Yes, indeed, the more the merrier. And if you're joining in alone, it is still okay. Welcome to the Storytime community, indeed. And remember to let your friends know we are here reading stories together, and they can join in too. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, two big events coming up. Of course, May 11th is getting closer and closer. Happy May, by the way. Today is May Day. How do I forget? Happy May Day indeed. And yes, may workers' rights for sure be put in the forefront. Thank you so much. And thinking about that too, thinking about our friends in Oakland Unified School District, who are at the bargaining table right now. I hope that those negotiations go well. And indeed, if it ends up going into a strike, well, we support you. We'll be there with you on the picket lines. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. May 11th, Marietta Apollonia will be here with her brand new book, Jack the Library Cat. So get excited and get ready for that one. Join us and come and enjoy it together. And then, of course, on June 3rd, we are out and about outside at Children's Fairyland for the Children's Book Festival. Come and join us. many creatives, including many that have been here to Storytime as well. Come and join us, or indeed let your friends know who are in the Bay or nearby. Let them know Oakland will be where it's happening on June 3rd at Children's Fairyland. Excited for that one indeed, and yes, looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining in. Who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story? Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, and you're saying good morning and happy first day of May from Sarah and Nathan out in sunny and gusty Illinois today. Oh my goodness, 32 miles per hour winds. Oh yes, please do be careful if you're on the roads. Please take it a notch down. It's okay to slow down and be safe. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Monday, you say. And I think too, if you're in the Bay Area too and driving across the San Mateo Bridge and a few of the bridges, I think there's wind advisories, so please be careful as you're out there as well. Please take extra care today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And indeed, Amanda, where's Sarah and Nathan? Thank you for sharing what's happening out there in Illinois. Happy first day of May to you. Happy Monday from Erin and Clara and in an overcast Massachusetts. Well, thank you so much for being here. I am glad that we're here together. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. Good to see you here as always. Hugs, hugs, hugs. And I hope you're ready for today's wonderful story together. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana today, it is humid and 82 degrees. Oh my goodness, that is pretty warm, pretty hot out there. Out here in Oakland, I think we're peaking today at about 60, 66 maybe. So yeah, a little bit chilly on this end. Please do carry a sweater if you're going outside. But of course, in Natchitoches, Louisiana, looks like you're not needing your sweater today. Braylon, Chad, Auntie Ann, and of course, Auntie Pam, thank you so much for joining in. And say glad to be inside with the Storytime fam, waiting for the next great story. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. I am glad that you're here with us. Indeed, it is always just a good feeling from my heart to see all your beautiful names and just put those faces and to the names, and I appreciate you. Thank you indeed for making this community the safe space, the wonderful space that it has become. Thank you so much. Or indeed, that is becoming. It is an evolving process. We learn every day, and yes, we can only try and do better the next time for sure. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Hugs to every one of you. I am excited to be here. Our book for today, yes, Crescent, Moons, and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. Coming up after this short break. Join me on the other side. And this one is written by Hena, illustrations by Mehrdokht Amini, and we're reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Join us on the other side of this short break. Thank you so much for being here with us. Absolutely appreciate you all. I'll catch you on the other side.
Have you ever wondered what makes you special? Maybe it's the color of your eyes. Maybe it's something that you can do, like sing. Well, with my brand new book, I See Me, you'll find out exactly what makes you awesomely special. Make sure you keep in touch with me on my social media handles and at Just in Time for Storytime. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamont.
Welcome back indeed, just in time for story time. So please do catch Justin forward with that. And of course, thank you for joining in story time today. I hope you're ready, and do check out Justin's book as well, I See Me, which was featured right here on Story Time. Crescent, Moons, and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. This one written by Hena, illustrations by Mehrdokht Amini, and reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. And before I go into our book too, I just wanted to read the author's note. So it kind of gives us a little bit more insight into the book as we go, as we check out all the beautiful spreads in this one. Here we go, author's note from Hena, and she says, shapes and geometry play an important part in Islamic art and architecture. Because the worship of idols is strictly forbidden in Islam, depictions of God and his prophets are prohibited. Muslim artists are also discouraged from using the human form or animals in their art. Instead, they often use decorative Arabic lettering called calligraphy, motifs from nature like flowers and leaves called arabesques, and, as seen in this book, geometric patterns in their designs. When Muslim mathematicians and astronomers made significant contributions to science and technology, particularly in the 8th and 9th century, their discoveries also influenced Islamic art and architecture, resulting in ever more complex geometric patterns. Geometric shapes like circles, stars, squares, hexagons, and octagons are duplicated and overlapped to form the basis of most patterns found in Islamic art. You can find these shapes and the patterns made from these shapes in large structures like mosques, palaces, and gardens. They also adorn walls, floors, windows, and everyday objects such as furniture, ceramics, and clothing. In this book, each spread depicts a different country from around the world with beautiful examples of Islamic art, architecture, and culture. So just a little bit more information there in the back from Hena Khan before we go into our book so we can understand a little bit more. And of course, good morning to you, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. Good to see you here on Storytime. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining in. Here we go. Crescent Moons and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. Written by Hena Khan, illustrations by Mehrdokht Amini, and being read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. And you can see the patterns have already started. Beautiful indeed, isn't it? What shapes can you see? Here we go. I see something too. I think I see. I see, is that a square? I see a square. What do you see? All right. Crescent Moons and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes, written by Hena Khan, illustrations by Mehrdokht Amini, and read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Cone is the tip of the minaret so tall, I hear soft echoes of the prayer call. Have you seen a mosque in real life? Do you live near one? Maybe next time you're out on your walk or out and about, look out if you see one. Cone is the tip of the minaret so tall, I hear soft echoes of the prayer call. I think I've mentioned this in the past before, but where I grew up in Lusaka, maybe a mile and a half at most, there's a mosque. And so every, like at 1 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, and I'm not early in the morning too, maybe 6, 5, you'd hear the call ringing out, prayer call ringing out. So definitely a part of my growing up as well. Cone is the tip of the minaret so tall, I hear soft echoes of the prayer call. Rectangle is the mosque's carved wooden door, filled with a pattern that reaches the floor. Can you see it? Yeah, right here, all the way down. Rectangle is the mosque's carved wooden door, filled with a pattern that reaches the floor. What other shapes can you see? Rectangle is the mosque's carved wooden door, filled with a pattern that reaches the floor. Octagon is a fountain
It's water so blue. I wash before prayers and make my wudu. What is a wudu, you say? Well, that's the beauty of this book, because you can go back to the back of the book and you can do this too when you get it. And there's a whole glossary of all the words that we're going to be reading about in here. And the wudu is a ritual washing of hands, arms, face, head, and feet before prayer. So use that when you get your book. Octagon is a fountain. It's water so blue. I wash before prayers and make my wudu. How many sides is an octagon? Did somebody say 3? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5? 6? 7? 8? Maybe? Octagon is a fountain. It's water so blue. I wash before prayers and make my wudu. Triangle is a mimbar's thin set of stars, or thin set of stairs. We hear a short sermon before Friday prayers. Yes, triangle is a mimbar's thin set of stairs. We hear a short sermon before Friday prayers. Did somebody say they wanted to know what a mimbar is? Okay, let's go to the back of the book. Let's go to the glossary. A mimbar is a platform or pulpit in a mosque where the imam stands to deliver a sermon before prayers. Triangle is a mimbar's thin set of stairs. We hear a short sermon before Friday prayers. Arch is the mirab that guides our way. We stand and face it each time we pray. Yes. Arch is the mirab that guides our way. We stand and face it each time we pray. Mirab, you say? All right, here we go. All right, so a mirab, a niche or wall in most mosques that indicates the direction of Mecca and is often beautifully decorated. Arch is the mirab that guides our way. We stand and face it each time we pray. Whoa, cube is the Kaaba, a most sacred site where Muslims worship each day and night. Whoa. Cube is the Kaaba, a most sacred site where Muslims worship each day and night. Cube is the Kaaba. And what is the Kaaba, you say? Well, the Kaaba, a holy temple in the city of Mecca. The word Kaaba means cube in Arabic. All Muslims face in the direction of the Kaaba while praying and are required to visit it at least once in their lifetimes if they are able to complete the pilgrimage known as Hajj. Cube is the Kaaba, a most sacred site where Muslims worship each day and night. Square is a garden with sweet orange trees, a hint of Jannah on its fragrant breeze. Yes.
can almost smell those sweet oranges, that sweet citrus smell. Square is a garden with sweet orange trees, a hint of Jannah on its fragrant breeze. Yes, indeed. Wow. Oh, you want to know about Jannah too? Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Jannah. Let's read about that. Jannah, Junah, actually, Junah. The garden of paradise, O heavenly abode, promised to people who lead lives of faith and good works. Gardens, offerings, and shade are a quiet place for reflection, are often a square-shaped and are a feature of many mosques and palaces. Jannah, actually, Jannah. Square is a garden with sweet orange trees, a hint of Jannah on its fragrant breeze. Doesn't that look beautiful? All those patterns too. Circle is a daf, a drum large and round. We fill the air with its festive sound. Circle is the daf, a drum large and round. We fill the air with its festive sound. Yes, indeed. Can you hear that sound? Circle is a daf, a drum large and round. We fill the air with its festive sound. Maybe next time you're looking around, try and see if you can find the sound of the daf, and then you get to know what it's like. A drum large and round. We fill the air with its festive sound. What else? Well, hexagon is a tile, bold and bright, painted with an ayah I love to recite. Hexagon is a tile, bold and bright, painted with an ayah I love to recite. What is an ayah? Should we look at that? Oh, yes. Let's do it. Ayah, a verse of the Holy Quran, the book that guides Muslims, that may be displayed and recited to affirm one's faith or uplift one in moment of need. An ayah is a verse of the Holy Quran, the book that guides Muslims, that may be displayed and recited to affirm one's faith or uplift one in a moment of need. I think it's a good way. It's good to have, so you can see all those. To affirm one's faith or indeed to uplift you in times of need. Hexagon is a tile, a bold and bright, painted with an ayah I love to recite. Oval is the table where we break our fast. When the sun sets, it's iftar time at last. Even if I didn't fast today, can I join in that feast? Oval is the table where we break our fast. When the sun sets, it's iftar time at last. And I must say, too, at this point, mention just I've seen some sports activities be halted. So Muslim participants can break their fast. They can allow for Muslim participants to break their fast and get a little bit more energy in, and I appreciate that. And so that's just something to think about too as we're walking in our communities. That there are people who may be fasting, people who are doing different observances, and we want to be cognizant of that and indeed supportive of that as well. Oval is the table where we break our fast. When the sun sets, it's iftar time at last. Yes. Diamond is the design on my new Eid clothes, a kaftan so long that it reaches my toes. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Diamond is the design on my new Eid clothes, a kaftan so long that it reaches my toes. Ah, love it. Crescent is the moon, brilliant in the sky. It whispers salam as the day passes by. What is salam, you say? Well, let's read about it. Salam is a greeting that means peace in Arabic, often used as hello or goodbye. Yes, indeed. Crescent is the moon, brilliant in the sky. It whispers salam as the day passes by. So much beauty in the shapes that I see adds to my faith and the world around me. So much beauty in the shapes that I see adds to my faith and the world around me. Yes, indeed. As we're walking today, may we look out for more of these shapes. What shapes do you see in your spaces? So much beauty in the shapes that I see to adds to my faith and the world around me. And that is the end of our book. And there's the author's note that we read earlier to help us, just get a little more depth on the book. And of course, the glossary with all the different terms that are used in here. You can see there kaftan, you can see all of them, and you can get to the mirab, you can get to read about those. So when you get this book from your local library, be sure to check those out, and it helps you understand the book a little bit more. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And yes, indeed, to all our Muslim friends out there, may we continue to share our proud heritages, and indeed just share with us all. For example, for me, please if I ask questions, please bear with me, because I want to learn, and so I can do good by you. I can do better by you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Crescent Minarets, Crescent Moons, and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. This one written by Hena Khan, illustrations by Mehrdokht Amini, and read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. I'll catch you on the other side of this short break when we're back. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime today.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist, and I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. Lamata are so important.
Welcome back. Thank you indeed for being here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. I hope we enjoyed the book that we had today. But please remember too that we're back tomorrow with another exciting book, coming back to Storytime after a little while. And this one is Like the Moon Loves the Sky. This one is from Hena Khan and Safa Khan. And of course, Hena Khan back to back right here on Storytime. So please do join in for this one as well. Like the Moon Loves the Sky. Tomorrow we're reading this one. It is illustrated by Safa Khan, and of course we'll be reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And one more time before we go, let us see who is with us in the on Storytime today, enjoying our stories. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning to you, Leon and Mateo. When are you coming to Oakland again? Thank you so much for joining in. We appreciate you. I miss you so much, and definitely hoping to see you soon. Love you. hugs to you. And yes, good morning to you. And Isabel, good morning to you as well. I hope the entire family is okay. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Sharon Lungo and Soraya right here in Oakland. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday. Have yourselves a wonderful week ahead. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Pamela Courtney, Braylon, Chad, Auntie Anne, thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day and indeed a wonderful week. Hopefully, maybe the weather cools down a little bit. Thank you so much for joining in. And yes, indeed, glad to be here with you. Glad to be here with you in community every single day. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Erin and Clara, thank you so much for being here out there in Massachusetts, where it is overcast today. Thank you for being here with us. Hugs to you, and we definitely hope to see you on many, many more story times. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you one more time, Sarah and Nathan, and of course Amanda West out there in Illinois, where it is gusty today, and of course sunny as well. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. I hope you enjoyed the book that we read together, Crescent, Moons, and Pointed Minarets, a Muslim book of shapes. And then tomorrow we're back with another exciting book, and this one is called Like the Moon Loves the Sky. So join us for that one. And then don't forget too, lots still happening. May 11th, which is getting closer and closer. It's 10 days away. Marietta Apollonia will be here with us celebrating her brand new book, Jack the Library Cat. So join us for that one. Join us indeed, and come and have some fun with us. Art and of course conversation with Marietta Apollonia. Thank you so much for joining in. Children's Book Festival happening at Children's Fairyland. Come and join us for that one as well. Come on out and say hello. And of course, come on out and read together. Get signed copies of books, and indeed get to talk and meet the creators of these wonderful, wonderful books, some of which we've been able to share here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in this morning. Absolutely excited to be here as always. Thank you. My heart is full. I'm ready to face this day. I hope that your day goes well too. Thank you so much for being here. Much love from me. I'll see you again tomorrow when we're back with another story. Thank you for being here. Much love. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, you won't just start all the reading. We just can't wait to be hearing